Good evening, everybody. Another Monday night with bees all day. Yeah, I took a vacation this weekend. The wife and I went away for the weekend, went to West Virginia, and tulip poplars booming up there where we were. So, how's everybody's bees doing today? Hey, Roy, how are you? Dennis? Let's see who else in there. Kathy, Keith, Mike. I know Clay's in here. Let's see, who else do we have? There's Mike, Jeremy Davidson, Block Farm. There's Joey. Let's see, who else do we have? Already been through all them. So, yeah, we got a bunch of them that haven't shown up in here yet. There's Bees in the Abyss. Mark Zenner, how are you tonight? So, Country Roads, how are you tonight? So, today, the weather was beautiful. It was in the 70s here all day long. It was nice, comfortable weather. Got a lot of work done outside in the bee yard. Then we started cutting hay. So all our hay is cut for the year. Just waiting on it to dry now. So, Clay, how are your bees doing? I know you were down to see Jace, but how are your bees doing? So some of you may have seen the statement I put in here earlier about the hives that I've got 23 I can split. So I'll be doing some late season splits, trying to build some more bees. So trying to make them stronger, build them up, so I can take them south. Yep, take them south. Yep. Yeah, it was a light breeze here too. So yeah, got a lot of work done today. Hey Bill Lee, how are you tonight? So just so everybody knows, our website is back up and running. Hey there, Ryan, how are you tonight? Crazy J, how are you tonight? Website's back up and running. A couple little glitches we're still working out, but for the most part, it's a lot easier to navigate, easier to find what you're looking for. So all the pictures aren't in there yet. Hey Chris, how are you tonight? But all the pictures are coming, so it's just going to take some time, but we'll get it. We'll get it right. We'll get it back up and running. So we'll have it back up and running before, I want to say before the 15th or the end of July, just in time to post the specials for Georgia. So there's Mike. Hey Rob, how are you tonight? So hey Brian, how your bees doing out there in the mountains of Colorado? So is everybody looking forward to Nobby? Going to Nobby this year? I don't know what's different this year than from last year, but I'm sure there'll be something that's a little bit different. So I know a lot of people are talking about Nobby, so yes, but not yet. It's a while off, isn't it, Clay? I'm more looking forward to Georgia and EMBA. There you go, Mark. Figure out how many you're short. So I don't know if Acorn's going or not. I haven't really heard anything from them. So yeah, I had more fun at EMBA than I had at Nobby, Joey. Yeah, it was just more low key, more personable. Got to spend time with people that you know. So yeah, Roy, Madison for me is the wrong time of year. Um, I don't want to go up there and get stuck in a snowstorm in Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, I'll be working this year though, Clay. I'm still going to have fun. How was Texas? You didn't. I thought DC. I thought you were somebody else. How far out is your stuff? Have you checked your tracking yet? Everybody say hi to Judith. It was her birthday last Thursday, so you got to wish her happy birthday. The link is dropped. It's pinned to the top. When is that? No, when is the North Carolina conference in July, Keith? Well, I thought I pinned it. Let me look. Evidently, it is not. It did not pin. Now try it. It's probably there now. Yeah, it's okay if you bought it and it's your own gift. Yes. There's there's Charlie. How are you this evening, Mr. Charlie?
Oh, not too bad.
That's good.
Good things arranged here. Not bad. Done haying for a while.
Yeah.
And I did my first round of wet hay, and that all worked out fine.
Good. Glad to hear that.
My son didn't make really super big rows like we do in dry hay, and it fed into the machine, and it fed in there just like a regular dry hay. So it worked out fine. Hey, Kathy.
Good.
Hey, Clay.
Hey, Joey. How are you?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you got a new background.
Yeah, that's an old one. That's where I wish I was at right now. Been raining here.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
We had a sprinkle last night. Charlie said he got an inch and a half of rain last night.
Yeah, it rained for a while and then it stopped and rained again. Fine with me. We needed it.
Somebody said you're on vacation, Joey.
I wish I was. I'm too busy to get away. I I felt like an Uber driver today.
Uh-oh.
Who are you driving around? The wife?
I had to give my son a ride to his work. Had to go pick him up later. Had to take mom to a doctor visit. Then had to go to the store and pick up some stuff. Pretty much eat my whole day up. In between all that, I didn't have really time to do anything. And
Yeah, but Mark says you're retired, so you're on vacation every day.
yeah, yep. Only when I go to sleep.
Only when you go to sleep.
Yeah. You know, I used to hear my dad tell people he don't know, he stays so busy when he retired. He said, I don't know how I ever held a real job. And I always thought he was just kind of joking around. I retired in 2019 and get busier every day.
Isn't that amazing though? You work all your life for that day of retirement.
Yeah.
And then when you retire, you're busier in retirement than you were working. But then again, that's what keeps everybody going.
Yeah, it does.
So,
I don't mind staying busy. I just want to stay busy doing what I want to do.
yeah, exactly. So, Joey, do you do late season splits?
No, no, not. It's not a common practice for me.
Okay. Yeah, I counted them today. I got 23 that can be split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I got done was uh Saturday after I got done baling Saturday, a little bit Saturday, and then Sunday morning, everything in my yard now's got a 2026 queen on there
Well, that's good.
and all that. And I've got a couple 24s out there and a 2 frame boxes and a couple. I think there's 3 25s out there. I had one there that had marked. I said it didn't know what it was marked, but once I got digging down in there, I found her. She was marked blue, so at least I could find her. But what was crazy was you got what took you almost 50 minutes to find the one queen. It was hiding over in the drone frame down in a hole. And then the next one you come in and pull the 3rd frame up, and there she is. You know, crazy stuff.
Have you done any more grafting?
No, I'm done. I found the queen. Remember, I had those cells that were all they never made it or whatever. They never made any cells. It was a queen in there.
Yeah.
A virgin go back in there, whatever it was. I just took all them bees and I had a hive there that was queenless and not much bees, and I just put all them bees in that one hive. And I went through it methodically and found her. I said, there you are. I think I marked her. And then I just closed them up. So I tried this thing where, all the ones that were mated, they had a frame or so of brood, like milk brood and stuff like that. And I just took the old queen out, put those queens in with their own frames and dumped their bees out of that box on top of them, over top of those frames. And they should be okay. We'll see. So right now I kind of look at it. I don't really have to do too much except get ready to extract honey.
Yeah. How much honey do you think you're going to get this year?
Not much.
I don't think any of us going to get a whole lot.
Maybe 500 pounds.
I'll be lucky to get that.
Mm-hmm. But between the weather and all, and then the biggest thing was, when you're grafting, the brood that you took out of the hives to make the cell builder, the brood that you took out of the hives, or different frames and stuff to make to populate 25 or so more two-frame mating boxes and stuff like that. It really diminishes that workforce.
Yeah, it does. So, did any of your mating hives put honey away?
What do you mean, like the two-framers?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the ones that are really populated and done well, brooding on there. They were the ones that had a lot of bees in there. And I don't know whether because they hatched out. Maybe I tried to put like a frame with a small patch of cat brood so it would populate it. And then there was burr comb up on top because I got a shim underneath the migratory cover on those boxes that I made. And there'd be about that, I don't know, half-inch of burr comb full of honey up there. And they had nectar in the frames too.
Mm-hmm.
And all that. So, and I also did feed them. I put pint jars on them and I put those cap box on top of the jars. And I was pulling, I don't know, I pulled 5 gallons or more of your stuff, the Pro Suite out of yours that I got.
Yeah.
And then come July, once I pull them supers and I'll start treating them with AprilGuard, I'm going to take and put a quart of Pro Suite on each one of them. Maybe feed them about a half a gallon to a gallon each. And that'll be the dearth. And I want to try to, like Benny says, feed them while you're treating them like that with that stuff. So that queen just keeps producing eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's my hope to do.
Yep.
That's my plan. So for me, I kind of got, what would you say, a plan of how I'm going to requeen myself every year, where if I could get the cell builder up and running a month sooner, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
Around mid-April, 2 or 3 weeks, even longer. And the only problem with that, I would probably have to drop them. I would have to make 5-frame nukes for those bees to expand themselves. That's where I'd have to pull 4 frames out and drop 4 or 5 frames in, which would be nice. It's more resources.
Question for you, Charlie.
I don't dilute it. Right now, it's sitting outside that big container, and it's hot, and it's thin, or at least because of the heat.
Yeah.
And all.
Isn't it designed where you can dilute it some and still be like?
And I don't know, the stuff that I got,
2-to-1?
I'm going to say it's a little bit thinner than what Man Lake had at one time.
Oh.
Yeah, it runs about 1-to-1, maybe 1.5 to 1.
Is that what you consider it, 1-to-1?
I consider it 1-to-1, 1.5 to 1.
Well, that's
Okay.
what I thought it was, maybe the heat, but it come out of there pretty darn liquidy,
Yeah. Now, when it gets colder, it gets thicker. It goes to a 2-to-1 or 2 to 1.5 when it gets a little colder on its own. But we've been cutting it down this year even further, making a really, really light syrup out of it. So
I actually like it thinner like that because it's easier. Like when I'm using jar lid feeders and stuff like that with the whole size,
Yep.
You get that 2-to-1 from Man Lake, which is more like a 3-to-1, even though it's warm. It's
Yep.
just it's so hard for the bee or for it to get out, to drip out.
Yeah.
This is more like what we would make ourselves.
Yeah.
And all that. So I mean,
Oh,
I've
he's not
been
supposed
feeding all of my mating boxes, like 25 of them or whatever it was. I had little pint jars, and I just I got that 5-gallon honey bucket that I had a honey gate on the bottom, and I just sat out there on the rack right there amongst all them 2 framers, and just I think I've filled them jars about 3 times that right now, and all. Because last year, I don't know, I got busy and didn't get back to them, and they didn't get fed, and they just kind of crashed. The darn bees crashed.
Yeah. So all these nukes that I've got, they've been getting fed all summer so far. And that's the ones we're feeding about a 1/2 to 1 on it, because we want them to draw their comb, comb out. And they're getting ready to be split down into 23 of them are getting ready to be split down into 10 framers, 10 frames on pallets. So
no, none of mine blew over. Hey, JT. Kathy.
AJT.
Did Tom, did you have a big windstorm out there or something? But as far as replacing, getting my queen thing, hey Matt, now I kind of got the idea of the routine, how I want to do it. Where I want to graft it, get the grafting quick as possible, and get them things in a mating box, and let them build up to where they're laying and all that stuff. I had one out there. I'm pretty darn sure it wasn't. I mean, she had a big patch of cat brood, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she, been so busy. Maybe it's been long enough for that thing to cat brood over. I took that one there, and I couldn't find her, but she had things laid up everywhere. So I just went ahead and I got my 20. I have 26 positions on those racks. So I made up a 5-frame nuke, and dropped them 2 frames in with all them bees, and dropped in 3 frames of brood comb in there, drawn brood comb. I said, have at it. I'll find you sometime. And all that. Hey, Lisa. So that's where we're at.
I ended up with another dead out. I found it. That was last week. I think most people already heard me talk about it. That'd be 2, I think, since this season. It's one I already pulled honey from one time.
yeah, I've lost 2 nukes this year. And that was my own fault. So
have y'all found y'all's bees to be a little bit spicier this year than normal?
oh yeah. Yep.
Mine's been that way, and I just got maybe 1 or 2 that's kind of hot, but everybody's been real gripey this year. Most
yeah.
everybody.
Yep. They have been beside themselves this year here.
I
They'll
was
put up with,
wondering. I was wondering because, like I say, you get that one every now and then. When you get a new queen, you get one that's just come back hot. Once her babies start flying,
yeah.
you try to do something about it. But it's just this. I had one like that, and I replaced that queen and settled it down. But all of them, not really just terribly mean, but just they'll come at you.
Yeah. Mine, they'll tolerate you for about 10 minutes
Yeah,
in their hive. They'll tolerate you for about 10 minutes. If you're in there longer than 10 minutes, you are done for.
I think it's got
Are they
something
all
to do
over
with the
you
way
or
the
what?
flow's been going, or something.
Are they
Yeah.
all over you or what?
Oh
I
yeah,
heard
they
something like that.
come rolling up out of the top of that hive. Man, they're right on top of you.
I had one hive out here, but that was the one that it needed, I think it was queenless and it was, aggravated. Hey Barnhill. And
Hey, Mario. But now I requeened this spring, and I shouldn't have any. I don't. Well, shouldn't, but I don't. Right as of right now, knock on wood, I don't have any queen issues. But I got mean bee issues right now. And I do believe it's because of the heat and not much of a flow.
Yeah. Now, I could pick certain times it seemed like it wasn't too bad. That's why I'm kind of blaming it on some of the flow. Because sometimes I go in and maybe robbing, pulling some frames, and everything's all right. And it's all of a sudden, no matter which one you going in, it's like maybe they trying to fight off robber bees and you just happen to be there,
Yeah,
or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
'Cause
It's just
my flow's been terrible this year. And I think that's what I'm blaming it on. I don't want to admit I got a bunch of mean queens.
you and me both, Joey.
I mean, now with them juice jars on some of them hives, they're, or let's say around the spout of the where I fill the jars, the bees are there trying to get anything they can get. There's no flow around me that I can tell.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'll say this: yellow jackets have been really, really bad this year.
Huh.
I haven't seen any of them yet.
Oh man, they've been all over the place this year. They've been real bad.
Can y'all hear that TV coming through?
Nope.
That's why I got this wireless on, hoping that she left the door open.
Nope. I don't hear a word.
Okay.
Yeah. So I look for dearth here to start early too, because it's
Oh, I think it's we started early with bees 2 weeks early. I mean the flows and different things,
yeah,
and I would say that right now we're at within 2 weeks of the end of the month for us in our area, which is normal, and I would say it's done for here.
yeah.
Brad said he's starting to see the dragonflies already.
Oh, I've got dragonflies here too. They're all over the ponds. And it's one of the dangers of having 3 ponds on your farm.
Yeah, I guess.
but the geese haven't come back yet. That's kind of a good thing.
The
It's
geese,
almost time for them to be here.
I got two couples out here with their babies that they come in every year
Yep.
and come in. Two of them come in, land, hatch out a bunch of eggs. They'll have about 6 or 7 uh, babies per couple. And they're out there in the hayfield eating whatever. But then now after a while they get big enough, then they all pack up and leave, which is good.
Yep. Headed south.
I guess.
I don't know. We usually get 2 or 3 pair that land here. June-ish time frame, middle of June, and raise their young, and then they're off. They leave here into October. They're gone. Then when we harvest corn, they're all over the cornfields. So
Now Brad there, he's just started putting together his starter finishers so he can start requeening it for the second time this year.
wow.
Well, let's see, he requeens in the late season, then he sells those queens in the spring, and then I think he grafts the second time around.
I'd like to see it stay this temperature the rest of the year.
What's your temp?
It was 77 degrees today all day with a light breeze blowing. Right now it's 71.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So where did you go? I seen the picture of the big valley and the river.
We went up above, right up around Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. And that picture was taken on up the road a little further near Hancock, Maryland.
Yeah, okay, that's or Berkeley. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of Beckley, but Berkeley. Yeah, it's up there where they got the guy had the castle on the side of the hill, and
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it was really nice weather here today. I got a lot done that needed to get done. So they keep riding by my window with the mower, they're still cutting hay. So I thought they were done, but evidently they're not. So
how many acres are you cutting down?
well, we had it all cut. Had everything cut that we normally cut, and this is a little section of the field that we don't normally cut. We just bush hog it because there's a lot of rock in it, and he'll figure it out when he starts hitting those rocks. So
What are they, like surface rocks?
yeah, but they stick up about 6 inches.
Ooh. That's
Those
even
knives will find them rocks real quick.
that's even bad for a bush hog.
Yeah, it is. That's why we run bush hog about halfway up. Well, I know where all the rocks are.
I think I have to go out there and paint them orange.
Looking at Brad's comment, he does his grafting this time of year and then lets them make emergency or swarm cells in the spring.
Yeah, that's where he sells those overwintered queens.
Yeah.
I probably knew that and forgot he did that.
So what do you got blooming down there right now, Joey?
We still got the elderberry a little bit. It's not a lot coming in, but it's enough you can shake a little nectar if you take a frame and shake it. But it's
Yeah.
not coming in fast. They're not filling them back up like they were. My tallow didn't last no time. And still a little bit of the, how you say it, mimosa.
Yeah.
A few of those out there, not much.
Yeah, now see, mimosa, we used to have a tree here in our yard. It was more of an ornamental tree, but you don't see that tree around here at all. But like you say, you go down around Alabama and places like that, it seems like are everywhere.
Yeah, they just started coming back here a year or two ago. And they really, last year they kicked in good. And then this year they coming back even better. But they died out here several years ago.
Hmm.
I don't know what caused it. I don't know if they had an answer for it, but they died out. And also the dogwoods. Of course, that's not good for bees, doesn't get anything out of the dogwoods, but I think that all happened about the same time. They just all died out, faded away. Just now starting to come back.
So, Country Roads, Jacob, does the I mean, I got a sumac tree over here. I presume it comes into a bloom on that big cluster thing before it turns to the red looking cluster bean looking pod. Is that what you see in West Virginia? That's where he's at. I don't know. I've never seen the flower. I never got over there to see whether it's flowering or whatever.
So Charlie, you could plant mimosa trees up there where you are,
Yeah.
because I can plant them here.
Yeah, we had one here in the yard. We sawed it down 25, 30 years ago. It it was
They kind of spread out. Just kind of
spread out and they
Yeah, they're good shade trees. They also call them Persian silk trees.
Call them what?
Persian silk trees.
Hmm. I think mine's are staghorn, Keith or Jacob.
So up there where we went this past weekend, tulip poplar is booming. And if you look at up in the higher elevations, you can see, you can't see the flowers yet, but you can see the sourwood trees up there where they're at. So they haven't quite come out to bloom yet, but you can see them up there.
Yeah, we don't have no sourwood, huh? I got a tree down here. It's got these long, fingery looking, bloomy things. I'm not sure what it's a sourwood tree or not. I happened to just see it today.
I never noticed how that sourwood grows until Bob had pointed it out, or that friend of his that comes on there talk about how it does. It doesn't have a solid trunk. It'll come up a little bit and kind of branch out this way and go up a little bit and go the other direction. I noticed some of the old tallow trees do kind of like that around here. Don't have a straight trunk on them.
What is it actually a tallow tree, or what is the name of the tree?
It's Chinese tallow. A lot of people call them popcorn trees.
Chinese tallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, American linden or basswood, yeah.
Yeah, we have basswood here.
I don't think we have basswood here.
You trying to find it, Bill?
Yeah, I found it. I was just trying to see if it would grow here.
It'd probably grow anywhere.
No, it says they can grow and survive in Virginia Zone 7, which is where I'm at in Zone 7, particularly in the warmer climates of Zone 7B, which is out on the east coast of Virginia, down in southeast Virginia. But it's more suited for a southern climate south of here.
Okay. I never heard of beef tallow. Why would they want to replace the beef tallow? What is it and why they want to replace it?
Beef tallow?
Yeah, that's what Grammy's talking about. Said tallow was brought into the U.S. as a replacement for beef tallow. The pods are seeds, make an oil when pressed. Huh. I didn't know that.
The problem of it is they want to get rid of the tallow tree, but it's been here for how long? 400 years? I think the French or somebody brought it over here. Well, Billy Lee, I got 82 baleage round bales, 4x4s. There was six gooseneck trailers. And they took them over to my son, and he had borrowed a neighbor's wrapping machine and wrapped it all. It went well. The machine didn't choke up or anything. I didn't have any problems at all.
Huh.
George says beef tallow is rendered beef fat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've never heard of beef tallow either.
No, I never heard that term.
Yeah, marshmallow bales. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's talking about when he plants that alfalfa. I said, well, you never can get the darn stuff dry early spring. He said, well, we'll cut it early and wrap it.
What, alfalfa?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Can't get it dry. You got to either chop it or something. Nope. We tried it years ago. Gave it to the dairy guy next door.
Yeah. Dairy cows love it.
You know, in the fall, especially in the fall, you can't get it dry.
Yeah.
McDonald's has returned to frying their fries in the beef tallow.
Yep.
Is it beef tallow or just cooking grease?
It's beef tallow. It's
Hmm.
When I was growing up, all the oils and greases we used was from hogs.
yeah, lard.
Yep, pure old lard.
Yep.
Yeah, buckwheat, you can have that. I don't like that kind of. That's one honey I do not like.
What, buckwheat?
Yeah,
Why not?
like drinking motor oil.
Yeah.
I know some people like it.
Huh.
Some people love buckwheat honey.
I know they do. They like that after bite.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
It's black. It looks like black strap molasses. What it looks
Yeah.
like.
It's thick like molasses too.
It's black. I don't even use molasses, Lisa. Of course, I don't do any much cooking either.
You know, I grew up eating a lot of old cane syrup, but I can't stand to eat it right now.
What is
It's
cane?
just
You say cane syrup.
cane syrup.
Yeah, it's almost like Cairo syrup.
It's thicker than that, and it's real strong.
What was
Yeah.
it from the sugar cane plant or
Yeah,
something?
they'd cook it down, they'd squeeze it and cook it down and make syrup
Yeah,
out of it. Some
yeah.
people still love it, but it's just so strong to me.
Is it sweet or what?
It's sweet, real sweet.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
I liked
Well,
it when
I
I was
thought
a kid, but
that's where they cook it down, and molasses is the byproduct of making white sugar,
well, that's
right?
just another step to make the sugar. You can do the you should do the syrup, or you can do the sugar.
Cane syrup, you mean?
Yeah, but it's still real popular around here. One of the guys that I got bees on his little farm. He does a few rows of cane every year, and cooks it down, makes syrup.
So does he have a roller press or something to press it out of, or what?
Yeah, they squeezes it out.
I mean, anything I've seen, I don't know about sugar cane, but what is it, Bill? Sorghum, is it that that they squeeze out? What's you see them at these antique places where they've got the horses going around in a circle and
Yeah,
they're
Oh,
running.
sorghum.
Huh? Is it sorghum?
Yeah, sorghum.
And there was somebody down there between Knoxville and Nashville that they sit there and he made something where it's like looked like a field chopper, and I forget how he worked it. And anyway, then you had a boiling house or whatever you want to call it with tanks,
Yeah.
and
They boil it down.
you heat it, and it was stir it and all this other stuff.
Yep. Yep. You boil it down and then you strain it. And what's left is the sorghum syrup. And then they either sweeten it or something, leave it alone, or I don't know how they do it past that point.
That's kind of like like tapping maple trees and stuff.
Yeah. But we used to plant it and harvest it. We used it as a cover crop. We used to harvest it with a 2-row chopper.
What, sorghum?
Yep.
Well, they sorghum around here that I remember has got that big kind of a bally looking head to it
Yep.
and all that. And I've seen them plant it here, but I forget what they did to it. I think they field chopped it or ran it, like you say, a corn chopper, was it? Or was it
Yeah.
where you
We used
cut it down?
we used a 2-row corn chopper to harvest it.
All that.
What are you getting me into, Tom? Yeah, they call it Milo, and yeah, Block Farm. They call it Milo in Nebraska. It's
What's
good cattle feed too. They mix it with brewer's grain when you're grinding grain. They mix it with brewer's grain and corn and hay and everything, and soybeans and everything else. They throw a little bit of everything in there. Okay. Yeah, my website's back up and running, everybody, just so you know. So Acorn went up on their frame prices
They did go up. I know you said they were.
significantly.
what are they at now?
Hold on a second, I'll tell you.
Hey, John.
Acorn is at for foundation, extra heavy wax is now $1.12 per sheet. Last year it was like 80 some cents a sheet. And of course, they cut out discounts for shipping.
Hey, John.
And with their price increase and no discounted shipping, my price for a triple dip foundation went to $1.62 a sheet. Just to cover shipping costs and price increase costs. Everything's getting more expensive.
Yeah. What's wrong with my stupid camera?
Yeah, you just got blurry there, Charlie.
Yeah.
He stays blurry. It's his camera. I think everybody's quiet tonight, Country Road.
Yeah, that's Jacob.
I'm always quiet.
Jacob, why don't you come on in? You can talk.
Hey, John.
Hey, Mississippi Homestead, you're new.
Yep.
No, he's been around a little bit.
You know him, Joey? He's down here close to you.
Yeah. He's a member at one of the clubs I visit sometimes.
Yeah, that would liven things up, Keith, if everybody used all caps.
Yeah.
So, Charlie, do you do any late season splits?
No, I'm done. I mean, right now, if I'm going to be splitting, I want everything up and running by July. It now would not be a great time to split. I don't think. I don't think you're going to build up fast enough. As far as getting the strength up. But I mean, I don't know, split wise. I mean, for me, it's like most beekeepers. I mean, I have a certain amount of hives that I want, and that's all I want,
Yeah.
So I do that vertical split instead of your horizontal split, splitting actually into a second hive. Yeah, any other splits I'll do probably as early on would be like nukes, make a nuke and let them either make their queen or put a queen in there.
Yeah.
Like today, I dropped that mated queen in there and I gave her extra frames, and hopefully, everything she'll, keep on going and expand.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it for me. I just, I don't know. You get to the point where you get a certain amount done. That's all you can get done. And I've downsized, from, not having as many nukes and upgrading the honey hives. And then this year, it's always been a queen fight for me. At least that's what I feel like. A lot of times they're always either went queenless, or I think a lot of it. I found those that one weekend. I think I requeened 4 or 5 hives, and I think they were all old queens that just failed. They might have been some. I know I had the 224s that were still going pretty good, but there were some other ones in there that were 24 queens that they just crashed and burned right when you needed them.
Yeah.
I had a few that did that. They were doing good until the flow hit.
Yeah, and then they'll crash and burn.
Yep. Then they gone.
And that's where you learn, yeah, she's a nice looking queen and all this other stuff, but Benny stated the same thing on that last video where he was requeening everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're pinching these queens, but he says they'll get you through the winter maybe. But like you say, get up just about the time we need you for honey season, and boom, she's gone, done.
Yep.
And that's, it's like Lynn that comes on here, Baltimore Bees. I went to her husband's funeral service today, memorial service, I guess you'd call it. And we were, myself and several of the other beekeepers were sitting there after the dinner that she had, and they were talking about swarming and queen issues, and I'm like, I said, yeah, they're swarming all right. I said, you got to pull the brood out of there. I said, that's what I learned from Marie. Pull all that cat brood up out of there and put it up on top of the hive and give her, keep giving her room to lay, and she won't swarm or make a split either way.
Yeah.
And then, well, they were talking about the one lady, she was mentoring different people. And what else was it? It was swarming was the issue, and I forget just what it was. And it's like, well, you can't fool around with it. You got to either, get supers on the honey hives when they need to be, and you got to be there when you're supposed to be there. You can't dilly around. Of course, a
Yep.
lot of folks, are I mean, even with me being self-employed, work kind of gets in the way, and that kind of stuff. Or the weather gets in the way. Like this past weekend, it was supposed to, I thought it was going to rain, and I got done early Saturday sooner than I thought, but it never rained till Sunday night, like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So it worked out to where I was able to get out there at 10 o'clock in the morning and get the rest of these queen things done and all that. And as far as raising more queens, I mean, I don't know. You get tired. You run out of energy on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, you do. It's
I'm ready to take and extract honey and get back down to a 3 medium brood chamber box where I don't have to use, like, last couple, the last 2 weeks in a row, I've been out there with my hive lifter and raising up honey supers and moving them around. And some of them are pretty heavy. What I did learn was I used one of my benches to where I put a lid upside down and I just swing it around and kind of let that front tip over because it's so heavy. If it's got 3 supers, it can manage pretty good. 4 on there, it's a little bit, if you drop it low, it wants to go forward. If you get it up too high, it's too much weight up in the air swinging around. So I nosed it on top of those aluminum benches that I've got, at least on one of them. Let it rest on there while I'm working the hive, getting these queens taken care of. But, when you can just go into the hive and go right into the brood chamber from the get-go, it just makes it easy too. But, summertime is kind of winding down to a certain extent, or the bee season is, I guess you would say, in certain aspects of it.
Going into another phase.
Yeah, you get to another phase.
yeah.
You had your build-up phase and your spring phase, and you're trying to, and then you're trying to get your wine. For us, we're winding down on the honey gathering phase quickly. If not, it's almost come to a screeching halt.
Yeah, probably get all my boxes off. Maybe I might wait another couple of weeks and pull everything.
I just wait till normally we wait till around the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I got a medical procedure on the 1st of July, and then after that I can I'll have to, get the extractor out and get it all set up and stuff like that. And there's a lot to do with that, put down rosin paper on the floor and then get my pallet that I put the extractor up on top so I can get the bucket underneath the spout and things like that and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like Roy there. I've had that last year. I had a breeder queen that she was gentle. She laid like crazy and produced a whole bunch of honey. And I was grafting off of that one hive. And like you say, you get right in the middle of honey season and boom, she's gone. And all that. And that's what happened to him. Now they're making queen cells. Yeah, DC, I agree with you there. Here, it was 2 weeks early when stuff started blooming. And I would say we're pretty much done here. Um, you know, I just got to build up some energy to start getting all that stuff done.
You got to get yourself psyched up for it, huh?
Yeah, it's like Saturday. We were gonna bail Sunday, then he said it was gonna rain, and we got on the and then I get a phone call and say, hey, this stuff's we don't want it to get too dry because it needs to be like 40 to 60% moisture content. And I got up there like 11. I had 2 deliveries I had to make. So I got up there at 11 and started bailing and finished up at 2. And then they took the rest of it to his place and took care of all that. I didn't have to do that. And, after a while, you just keep pushing. It's like I'll call it, you're constantly pushing,
Yeah.
as far as the hay and the farm part of it. And then I'm trying to get caught up with my queens. And I went through the hives and started checking hives, and there's like 3 or 4 of them in a row. I think there was 4 of them in a row that I could tell that they were queenless. So I started pulling the queens out of the mating boxes with their frames and everything. I said, oh, here's one that's got all this jelly and stuff in there. I said, let's just do like Doolittle said, put it in there. And I went back and checked one that I wasn't sure whether she was a virgin or whether she was mated. And I found her in there 7, 8 days later, and she's a big old flat plump queen. I'm like, okay, I can see that everything is working fine here. So just leave them alone. And really, that's the best thing to do is just leave them alone.
Yeah.
See you later, Tom.
Night, Tom.
Well, JC, as far as the clover goes, if it's Dutch white clover, that stuff only has nectar, I'll say, very early in the morning. And then it burns off with the sun. And then really and like if you got it in your yard, you ought to cut it because this blooms get brown. Cut that clover and then it'll rebloom itself and create another a nectar.
It comes back fast.
Comes back fast, and they'll create another nectar source. But JC, you should be. I kind of know where you're at. You should have a lot of like poplar trees and basswood or sourwood or whatever down in there. All that. So what are you going to do, Bill? Round bale all that hay?
Yep.
You got net wrap, I guess, right?
Yep. Net wrap.
What kind of bale are you running? New Holland or
New Holland? It'll get tethered in the morning or tomorrow mid-morning.
Yeah.
So I can get some sun on it.
What
if it's dry by tomorrow, they'll probably bale it.
What model is that thing? Or
The New Holland baler?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an older New Holland.
70 something series or something?
Or? Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Ours is the BR 7000 series, 7 BR 740. They came out in 2007, I think, something like that.
If you look at the New Holland balers,
yeah,
561, New Holland baler.
Yeah.
It looks like that, but it's red.
So it sounds pretty late model.
Yeah, it's like 2 years old, I believe it is.
So it's a 560. If it's not a 4x5, it's a what, a 5x6.
Yeah, it's a 5x6.
So it's a 651, I think, or a 650.
Yeah, it's a 651, I think.
A 460, I think. Yeah, 460.
Uh,
The 4x5s are a 4x6 is a 460, or is it a 5x6? Probably 4x6. Solid special.
yeah,
That's pretty much the.
that's a 94.
Well, it's probably 2013 was the 560 rollabout 560 in a new generation of balers. 2013, so that must be it. It's newer than ours.
Yeah, it's pretty new. They had it before. We started using it. So we've been using it for 2 years.
Is that your brother-in-law's baler or somebody you get that guy that you hire?
It's the guy that we hire.
Huh? Yeah, hang on.
And the guy that we hire, and we've been using him 2 years. And he had it a year or two before that. So
Yeah, it's pretty.
it's a 2022 model year, I think.
Yeah, it's a late model.
Yeah. It might be a 461.
Well, the 1 series is a brand new one's the 2026 series, like the 451 and 461. The 1 is the newest. That's those all yellow looking things.
Yeah.
Hey, Dodd.
Yeah, they're 1,000-pound bales.
They're big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ease on out. I'll see y'all later.
All right, Joe.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
JC, I would say that's your Famosa tree. Pink looking flowers with,
Do they look silky?
they got like little silky, feathery looking blooms to them, I guess. Somebody down your way, Bill, I seen where Agritier had a Fendt tractor and great big thing. This disc, some kind of a tillage equipment on it.
Mm. Where'd you see it at? Somebody selling it?
I think Agritier was a, what do you call it, an advertisement for them. Pretty good sized tractor with like speed disc behind it or something.
Yeah, it's a 450 baler.
450.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been out for 10 years or so. They've been now the newest ones out, the yellow ones are 451s.
Yeah.
And I looked at the video of them by one of these Messics or somebody up here, and the difference between the two, other than the color, there's not that much.
No, there's not much.
Minimal, like bearing, like triple bearing covering or something like that, and one
Yeah.
tube in there is a solid tube instead of welded in half.
Right.
And I'm like, shoot, it's not even worth talking about. And while the new ones are all isobust. Let me get ice cream.
DC, that's an honorable thing to do, buddy. Keep doing what you do. All right, a couple of minutes in the chat. You asked Charlie a question.
What was it?
Roy asked you a question a couple minutes ago in the chat, and we both missed it.
I don't know.
There it is.
I don't know.
Usually it's 2 seasons.
Is that all? I thought you
Yeah.
just get 4 or 5 years out of them.
Well, if you want, it gets kind of sparse in the 3rd and 4th year. It starts getting sparse in the field. So you got to replant or you got to overseed to make sure it stays thick.
I don't know. I mean, my son's doing all that. We had it years ago. We did it, and they were trying to get it to where it was orchard grass and the alfalfa mix, and you can't because both of them come up 2 different times. And at the time, we were baling it with conventional balers, and I said I didn't want to be baling hay for 28 days. See, Mark's.
Mark, it's a company, and when the company that owned it approached, and myself and my supplier, we had input into the design of the extractor, all the Shamrock equipment. We had input into the designs. So the DC is talking about a 918 extractor, and the next one after that is a 36. We don't have anything in the 20s, not yet. Yeah, that 36 frame extractor is huge. Unless you got a commercial operation, it's 36 frames that's a lot of frames of honey to be extracting. Yep. Yeah, we oversee every 2 years when we have alfalfa. Now there's a bunch of farmers around here that have it that oversee every 2 years too.
Well, that's what my son did here above that, right above the hives there. He reseeded that in the grass. And you could actually see it coming up where it came up.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. I mean, you can tell when you have alfalfa in the field. That's for sure. So I planted a half a field of buckwheat this year, along with my sunflowers.
Yeah, how did your sunflowers turn
They're about some of them are about 8 or 10 inches tall now. So
dry?
yeah, it's dry, and they got in the ground late because it was dry and it was cold. We had that frost, and it delayed everything as far as planting goes.
Didn't you have a guy last year stop by about interested in buying it or something like that?
Yeah, one of the florists stopped by and said he wanted to buy some, and he never came back after that.
Seeds or something.
I told him, make me an offer. Hold on a second. I'll be right back, Charlie. The boss just got home.
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get those hives split down into 10 frames. Those nukes will get split down into 10 frames end of the week, weekend, something like that. And then I'll split some 8 frames down once we take hunting. I'll put some 8 framers in 10 frames on pallets. And
When you say split them, are you just taking all 8 frames and just putting them in a 10 frame box on a pallet?
yeah, but I've got some 8 frames sitting there that are double deeps. So what I'll do is I'll take the top deep, put it in 10 frame, put a queen with it, take the bottom deep and put it in a 10 frame, and it's already got a queen.
Yeah. So. Yeah. DC, yeah, that baling machine, that bale bearing, that was a game changer for me. Wish I had it 20 years ago. I've seen it when it first came out. I wish we could have bought it back then. Probably would have been, but they have changed it so much and quite frequently. Uncle Junior, we plant orchard grass most of the time. It's a newer style orchard grass up on the hill where it's got more leaf about it, not so much tall stems with a head. And that's about it. Mostly orchard grass anymore. Now, someone was talking about Timothy. I said, well, we used to plant Timothy all the time, and they used to consider orchard grass junk hay. And now it's the opposite. And then he was talking about Timothy. I said, well, they won't buy it because it's stemmy. And they said, well, now you got, I guess it's the different people are petting their horses a different way. It's like, well, the horses are diabetic. They got to have less sugar. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So he said, well, Timothy has less sugar. And you feed them diabetic hay. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So. And Brian there, he's got a 30 frame extractor.
Yeah.
But got 100 colonies too.
Yeah. And
like
having a 30 frame extractor makes sense if you got that many colonies.
And like Tom and Melissa, they have a pretty sophisticated extraction line, but they've got quite the amount of honey coming in too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
hey Tom, yeah. What's it like to sleep in the honey house?
Yeah, Eric. Or not Eric, but Jacob. I don't know about the insulin for horses, but
I've never heard of a diabetic horse.
That's all I can tell you about it. They want low sugar content hay.
Really?
That's right. That's why they're going back to Timothy. Diabetic.
You sure them girls aren't eating that hay?
Got me. That's like teff hay. You ever see any of that?
Who?
Teff.
Yeah.
It's called teff hay. It comes from Africa. You got to plant it every spring to get it. And anyway, it's got some kind of medicinal purposes about it. Somebody had these horses that either they get a problem with their feet or they're diabetic or something like that. And it's premium hay. Of course, it takes too damn much work to mess with it. And they feed it to these horses for certain reasons, that they had problems with their feet or whatever. And they feed it and it, takes the problems away. Uncle Junior, they've hit him with alfalfa. Alfalfa will make a horse hot, as in ready to race and run and go nuts.
Yeah. Amongst other things, Uncle Junior.
And people talk about feeding alfalfa to these here, I call them saddle horses, just a pleasure horse. I said, you're feeding them like speed. They
Yeah.
don't they don't need that kind of stuff. Well, you can give them sugar cubes. That's just a treat.
Yeah. Rocket fuel for horses. That's true, DC. It does make them fat if they don't burn it all off.
I know Dad talked about when they used to work horses, you only gave a horse at lunchtime like 1 ear of corn or something like that. You didn't feed them much.
No, because they lay down and didn't want to do anything.
Yep. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Back up to speed as far as the amount of hives I got, and I guess the next step I'm going to be doing is taking and harvesting honey. So as far as this coming weekend, I don't foresee me having to get into the hives per se. Maybe check some of those queens. I got some old queens out there. Maybe I'll have to bring out some 5-frame nukes and drop them in them things. See if they'll overwinter. Use their brood. Use them as brood factories.
There you go. Keep the money rolling in.
But
So I did get 2 or 3 requests for quotes on syrup. So this year.
would the supplier get this mixing plant installed or built?
Yep, he did. He did.
You're going to be August, huh? Roy, July is about, we're done here. August is the dearth month for us.
Yeah, it starts around here around the 15th July. And then it runs till about middle to end August here. So now feeding those bees that are going to go south, hot and heavy through them. I'll thicken up the syrup a little bit, and dump it to them.
Now, is it Schaefer 01? Schaffer?
Schaefer.
Right about feeding wheatgrass. Well, I would say that's more like what we just made, haylage, because that was oats and peas, and I would say wheatgrass is just young. Well, there's a farm right up here next to me. It was about 100 and some acres. They planted in wheat, and it was about half tall. The wheat prices are crappy, so they cut it, and I think they blew it in a forge, a field chopper, and blew it in the darn trucks and made cow feed out of it.
Yeah.
They weren't going to make any money harvesting it for wheat. That might be what he's talking about, Shaver. On that fertility from the oceans deep. I don't know. I don't know what the ocean's got to do with land-based products, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah, that's exactly right about the alfalfa is what I tell some of these people that come in here. But from
Yeah.
season,
Constantly working is every day, not once or twice a week getting ridden around the riding ring.
90 plus minerals from the sea solids. I don't know what that is.
Wheatgrass.
And what is it? You can laminitis. Yeah, I've heard of that. And that part of
Yeah.
their,
Lamanite.
and that's something about their feet.
Yep. That's
That
their hoof wall separates from the hoof.
maybe that's what we're thinking about. Maybe where they were using teff grass and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
We've turned into a farm show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's soft hoof, and the hoof wall separates from the inner part of the hoof. Because it's so soft. Been a long time for me too, DC. Yes, we are farmers. Country roads. Beekeepers are considered farmers because bees are livestock.
And Rob, he's out there in St. Louis or out south Missouri.
Yeah.
Cut wheat hay was in the milky stage.
Yep. Yeah, DC, kind of like ranchers, except we can't lasso the bees. So Roy's got another question for you, Charlie.
Um, the Demery's okay, no swarms, but harvest looks pretty bad. It's like when the locust was blooming for 2 weeks, it was 60 degrees, so the bees weren't flying. The year prior to that, it rained while the locust, and it washed a lot of stuff out of the way. And so there's your problem there. It all has if the Demery is great for increasing bee population, eliminating swarming, as long as everything is working just right. For me, like I said earlier, I was kind of robbing my Demery hives a brood, trying to get cell builders established. I needed 10 frames of brood. And then after a while, I needed to go through a bunch of hives and pulling out frames that might have had a small patch of brood and food and whatever to put in my two framers to put the cells in. So every time you do all that robbing of stuff, it kind of sets that hive back. And so far as the honey season, no, it ain't all that great for me. I don't see it at all. I mean, it was more or less not because of the demery, it was because of how the weather was. And then as soon as the poplars kind of bloomed right the tail end of locusts here for me, then it started raining some, washing a lot of that stuff away. So that's kind of a bust for me this year. I'll have some honey, but I ain't gonna have like I did last year or the year before. I'm hoping that what I just got done swapping out all my queens with 2026 June queens, that they'll carry my hives through and build up like gangbusters in the spring. And hopefully we'll have the weather coincide with all this different stuff to get the honey crop out of the hives. We'll see. That's all short of it. I mean, it never really worked for me, Roy. It just what I think one of the things was you had queens that I'll say probably were poorly mated. They weren't producing the amount of frames of brood. I'm talking about if I got 20 frames of mediums in the brood box down there, I'm hoping for maybe half of that to be brood, 6 to 8 frames that should be solid brood down in there all the time where I'm happen to go in. Let's say when I first did it, I used to go down there and pull brood out every week. And something that Brian did, and I've been mentoring Brian from Castle Hives. That's how when it comes to his demery method, I've been getting texts and things, questions on how to do stuff. And he's been on a schedule, which is, I like that idea. I sort of developed a schedule. I mean, always check the brood upstairs within 5 to 6 days to see if there's queen cells. And if you can keep on the schedule, that's a big thing. I might be out in the hayfield and be tired by the time I get home, it's dark. Yeah, Kathy, been taking brood frames from you got your brood factories. Are they nukes, I presume? Yeah, Roy. Yeah, Kathy. I mean, that sounds like to me you need more. I'd have to have another yard for just making brood factories, and I just don't have the time and the energy. The energy more so than the time, I think, or a little bit of both. I just we'll see how this works as far as these requeenings and stuff. And another thing, Kathy, is that I had a lot of dead outs where I used a lot of my nukes to replace hives, which sort of worked. Double 4 frames, 4 high, like Michael Palmer. Okay. Yeah. It's the same concept as far as using your nukes as your brood factories. If I could, I'm hoping next year that everything will be up and running. My production hives will be, in tip top shape when it comes to queens and laying and brooding up hard and strong. And then my nukes, maybe I won't use any of my nukes because I got fresh queens and everything now. Well, now I'll have brood factories right there where if I can get some nice spring weather, let's say mid-April, which would be great, I could pull 10 frames out of the 8 nukes that I have sitting there a solid brood and make up a cell builder right quick. Yeah, Roy, how many? You got 40 brood factories and you're going to get 20 more, so you got 60 hives. I don't want all that. I went from close to 40 some hives down to 25, 24, 25. I'm downsizing, not upgrading. Anyway, Uncle Junior wants to know anybody using Viroxan. I'm not.
Nope.
I helped pass out mite treatments at my club here last week. That was something else I did for 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of people buying that stuff. But then I had some other ones. The one lady down below me, she used it once and she didn't like it. I could have told you that. She wasn't using it. I said, wait till next year the Easy Ox comes out with their stuff. It'll be way better.
Yeah.
Well, looks like the
Yeah, we got about 10 more minutes.
yeah. So
Sorry, DC and Country Roads got me off on a tangent on something else.
yeah, you're talking about Desert Storm. I was a friend of mine. He was over there for a while.
I wouldn't trade it for anything else either, DC. I got to do a lot of stuff when I was in there.
All right, Rob. We'll catch you later.
Yeah, I think I'm going to end it a little bit early tonight, Charlie.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah. So, everybody, it's going to be a nice week this week. So, everybody have a good week. Don't forget, Thursday night is
Keith.
Keith. And this week should be the late night show as well. And then Friday night is Charlie, and Saturday night is Joey. And then back Monday to me. So y'all take it easy and have a great day. Night.